Now you read out the name. It's not like Paritta chanting, it is Punyanumodana. We will chant one Punyanumodana Sutta also today because in addition to Paritta, we will chant this Punyanumodana Sutta, Tirokuddha Sutta. Okay. नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा संबुद्धस्सा नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा संबुद्धस्सा नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा संबुद्धस्सा इतिपिसो भगवारहं सम्मा संबुद्धो विद्याचरण संपन्नो सुगतो लोकविदु अनुत्तरो पुरिसदम्म सारथि सत्ता देव मनुष्याणां बुद्धो भगवाति नमो तस्स सम्मा संबुद्धस्सा ये च बुद्धा अतीता च ये च बुद्धा अनागता पच्चुपन्ना च ये बुद्धा अहं वन्दामि सब्बदा नत्ति मे शरणं अन्यं बुद्धो मे शरणं वरं तेन सच्चवज्जेन होतु नो जय मङ्गलम् उत्तमंगेन वन्देऽहं पादपंसो वरुत्तमं बुद्धेयो कलितो दोषो बुद्धो कमतु तं मम बुद्धं यावनिब्बानपर्यन्तं शरणं गच्छामि स्वाकातो भगवता धम्मो सन्दिटिको अकालिको एहिपस्सिको वपनायको पच्चत्तं वेदितव्यो विन्नोहीति नमो तस्सनियानिकस्य धम्मसा ये च धम्मा अतीता च ये च धम्मा अनागता पच्चुपन्ना च ये धम्मा अहं वन्दामि सब्बदा नत्ति मे शरणं अन्यं धम्मो मे शरणं वरं ये तेन सच्चवज्जेन होतु नो जय मङ्गलम् उत्तमङ्गेन वन्देऽहं धम्मं च विदुत्तमं धम्मेयो कलितो दोषो धम्मो कमतु तं मम धम्मं यावनिब्बानपर्यन्तं शरणं गच्छामि सुपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावक संगो उजुपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावक संगो न्यायपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावक संगो सामीचिपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावक संगो यदिदं चत्तारि पुरिसयुगानि अट्टपुरिसपुग्गल एषा भगवतो सावक संगो आहुनेयो पाहुनेयो दक्षिणेयो अंजलिकरणीयो अनुत्तरं पुण्यकेतं लोकस्याति नमो तस्स अट्ट अर्य पुग्गला महासंगसा ये च संगा अतीता च ये च संगा अनागता पच्चुपन्ना च ये संगा अहं वन्दामि सब्बदा नत्ति मे शरणं अन्यं संगो मे शरणं वरं ये तेन सच्चवज्जेन होतु नो जय मङ्गलम् उत्तमंगेन वन्देऽहं संगं च विदुत्तमं संगेयो कलितो दोषो संगो कमतु तं मम संगं यावनिब्बानपर्यन्तं शरणं गच्छामि एवं बुद्धं शरन्तानं धम्मं संगं च भिक्खवो भयं वा चम्पितत्तं वा लोमहंसो न हसति घनसारपदिष्टेन दीपेन तमदंसिना तिलोकदीपं सम्बुद्धं पूजयामि तमोनुदं गन्धसंभारयुक्तेन धूपेन हं सुगन्धिना पूजये पूजनीयन्तां पूजाभाजनमुत्तमं वर्णगन्धा गुणोपेतं येतं कुसुमसन्ततिं पूजयामि मुनीन्द्रस्सा श्रीपादा सरोरुहे पूजयामि बुद्धं कुसुमेन नेन पुण्येन मेत्तेन च होतु मोक्षं कुप्पं मिलायाति यथा इदं मे कायो तथा याति विनाशभावं निरोधः समापतित्वो उदित्वा निसिन्नस्सा विया भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा इमिना दीपेन धूपेन पुप्पेन पूजेमि 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 इमं दीपधूपपुष्पपूजादिनामः सकल सम्बुधानां पचेक बुद्धानां अग्गसावकानां महासावकानां अरहन्तानां पकटिशीलं अहं पिते संग अनुवत्तको होमि इमानि पुप्पानि वन्नेनपि सुवन्नं गन्धेनपि सुगन्धं सन्तानेन अपि सुसन्तानं किप्पमेवा दुर्गन्धं दुर्गन्धं दुःसन्तानं पापुनिस्सत्ति एवमेवा सब्बे संकार अनिच्चा सब्बे संकार दुःखा सब्बे धम्मा अनत्ताति हिमाय धम्मानुधम्म पटिपत्या बुद्धं पूजेमि हिमाय धम्मानुधम्म पटिपत्या धम्मं पूजेमि हिमाय धम्मानुधम्म पटिपत्या संगं पूजेमि वन्दामि चेति यं सब्बं सब्बताने सुपतिष्ठिता शारीरिक धातु महाबोधि बुद्धरूपं सकलं सदा नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा करणीयमत्तकुशलेनायन्तं सन्तं पदं अभिसमेच्छ असक्को ऊजूचा सुजूचा सुवचो च समुद अनतिमानि सन्तुष्सको सुबरोचा अपकिच्चो च सल्लहुकौत्ति सन्तीन्द्रियोचा निपकोचा अपगब्बो कुलेषु अननुगिद्धो न च कुद्धं समाचरे किञ्चि येन विन्यो परे उपवदेयं सुखिनो वाक्येमिनो हन्तु सब्बे सत्ता भवन्तु सुखितट्टा एके चिपाणभूतत्ति तसावातावरा वानवसेस दीघा ये महंता वा मध्यमा रसकानुपतुला दिट्टा वा ये व अदिट्टा ये च दूरे वसन्ति अविदूरे भूता वा संभवेसि वा सभ्ये सत्ता भवन्तु सुखितट्टा न परो परं निकुब्बेता न्याति मन्नेत कट्टचिनं कंचि व्यारोसना पटिग संज्ञानन्यमन्यस्य दुःखमिचय्य माता यतानि पुत्तं आयुषा एकपुत्तमनुरक्ष्य एवंपि सब्बभूतेषु मानसं भावये अपरिमाणं नत्तं च सब्बलोकस्मिन् मानसं भावये अपरिमाणम् उद्दङ्गदो च तिर्यं च असम्बादं अवेरं असपट्टं तिट्टं चरं निसिन्नो वा सयानो वा यावतः स विगतमिग्धो एतं सतिङ्गदिट्टेया ब्रह्ममेतं विहरङ्गिदमाहु दिट्टिञ्च अनुपगम्य शीलवादर्शनेन सम्पन्नो कामेषु विनयागेदं न हि जातो गब्बसय्यं पुनरेतीति दुःखापता च निर्दुःखा भयापता च निर्भया शोकापता च निःशोका होन्तु सब्बे पिपाणिनो एतेन सच्चवज्जेन सोतिनो होतु सब्बदा एतेन सच्चवज्जेन होतु नो जयमङ्गलम् एतेन सच्चवज्जेन पातु नो रत्नत्रयम् नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा थिरोकुड्डे सुतिष्ठन्ति सन्धिसङ्घातकेषु च द्वारबाः सुतिष्ठन्ति आगन्त्वाना सकङ्गरं पहूते अन्नपानं हि कज्जबुज्जे उपत्थिते अते संकोचि सरति सत्तानं कम्मपच्चया एवं ददन्ति न्यातीनं ये होन्ति अनुकम्पका शुचिं पणीतं कालेन कप्पियं पाणभोजनं इदं वो न्यातिनं होतु सुखिता होन्तु न्यातयो ते च तत्ता समागन्त्वा न्यातिपेता समागता पहूते अन्नपानं हि सक्कच्छं अनुमोदरे चिरं जीवन्तु नो न्याति ये संहेतु लभामसे अम्हा कंचा कथा पूजा दायका च अनिप्पला न हि तत्ता कसी अत्ति गोरक्केत्ता न विज्जति वाणिज्यातादिसी नत्ति हिरण्येन कयाकयन् इतो दिन्नेन याप्यन्ति पेता कालं कथातहि उन्नमे उदकं उत्तं यथा निन्दं पवत्तति एवमेव इतो दिन्नं पेतानं उपकप्पति यथा वारी वहा पूरा परिपूरन्ति सागरं एवमेव इतो दिन्नं पेतानं उपकप्पति अदासी मे अकासी मे न्यातिमित्ता सकाच मे पेतानं दक्षिणं दज्जा पुब्बे कथमनुस्सरं न हि रुन्नं वसो को वा ये चन्या याचन्या परिदेवना नतं पेतानमत्ताया एवं तिष्ठन्ति न्यातयो अयं च को दक्षिणादिन्ना संगम हि सुपतिष्ठिता दीघरत्तं हिताय सातानसो उपकप्पति सो न्याति दम्मो च अयं निदस्सितो पेतानं पूजा च कथा उलारा बलं च भिक्खु फलंच भिक्खु न मनुपदिन्नं तुम्हे हि पुण्यं पशुतंगनप्पकन्ति एतेन सच्च वज्जेन सोतिनो होतु सबदा एतेन सच्च वज्जेन होतु नो जय मंगलं एतेन सच्च वज्जेन पातु नो रतनत्रयं नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा संबुद्धस्स सब्बितियो विवज्जन्तु सब्बरोगो विनश्यतु माते भवत्वन्तरायो सुखी दीर्घायुको भव भवतु सब्बमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु सब्बदेवता सब्बबुद्धानुभावेन सब्बधम्मानुभावेन सब्बसङ्घानुभावेन सदा स्वस्ति भवन्तु ते इमिना पुण्याकम्मेन मामे बालसमागमो शतं समागमो होतु यावनिब्बानपत्याम् इदं मे पुण्याकमं आसवक्कयं वहं होतु सब दुःखापमुच्यतु निब्बान संपत्तयो होतु साधु सुखी हन्तु मंगल हो okay now you take 5 precepts 3 refuges and 5 precepts आंखें बंद करो कमर गर्दन सीधा रखो be relaxed keep a smile on your face हंसी खुशी चेहरा से मुस्कुरा के बैठो see yourself sitting peacefully in meditation अपने आप को देखो हंसी खुशी चेहरा से ध्यान करके बैठा है wish yourself let me be like this happy healthy and peaceful हम इसी प्रकार सुख शांति आरोग्य से रहे ऐसा अपने आप को महत्ता दो the same way my family members near and dear ones just visualize their smiling face may all these loved ones also be happy healthy and peaceful with a smile on their face अभी परिवार का सभी लोग प्यारे लोग उनका हंसी खुशी चेहरा मन में याद करो और उनको भी महत्ता दो ये सभी मेरा प्यारे लोग हमेशा इसी तरह से हंसी खुशी चेहरा से सुख शांति आरोग्य से रहे सबका अच्छा हो भला हो मंगल हो the same way our Guruji all the devotees here may all of them also be happy and well healthy and peaceful with a smile on their face may all of them be happy healthy and peaceful इसी प्रकार हमारे गुरुजी यहाँ का सभी उपासक उपासिका लोग इन सबका अच्छा हो भला हो मंगल हो सभी सुख शांति आरोग्य से रहे इन सबका स्वस्थ मुक्ति हो in the same way all other known people remember some of them like friends relatives colleagues neighbors or any other known person and for all the relatives again wish all these known people also be happy and well healthy and peaceful इसी प्रकार दूसरा जान पहचान लोग, रिश्तेदार, दोस्त लोग, पड़ोसी लोग, उनमें 4-5 लोगों को मन में याद करो। ये सभी लोग इसी प्रकार हंसी खुशी चेहरा से सुख शांति आरोग्य से रहे। इन सबका अच्छा हो, भला हो, मंगल हो। इन सबका स्वस्थी मुक्ति हो। The same way all the unknown people, wherever they are in this whole world, all the humans, but also all other beings like animals and other invisible beings also. All beings, all the humans also be happy and well, healthy and peaceful. इसी प्रकार सभी अनजान लोग जहां भी हो सारे दुनिया में, सभी मनुष्य लोग और सभी प्राणी, सभी जीवी जहां भी हो, दृश्य हो अदृश्य हो, सभी जीवी, सभी मनुष्य, सबका अच्छा हो, सबका भला हो, सबका मंगल हो, सबका स्वस्थ मुक्ति हो, सभी अच्छा से रहे, सभी खुशी से रहे, सुख शांति आरोग्य से रहे, सबका स्वस्थ मुक्ति हो। Again, you see yourself sitting peacefully in meditation with loving kindness, with metta, complete metta in your heart. May I be like this always, with loving kindness and metta. Let me be happy and well, healthy and peaceful always. और एक बार अपना आप को देखो, मन पूरा मेत्ता से भरा है। हम इसी प्रकार हमेशा मेत्ता से रहे, हमको अच्छा हो, भला हो, मंगल हो। भवतु सब मंगलं रक्षन्तु सब देवता सब बुद्धानुभावेन सब धम्मानुभावेन सब संघानुभावेन सदा स्वस्ति भवन्तु ते। Slowly open your eyes. धीरे से आंखें खोलो। Okay, now you can perform this lyric sharing Punyanumodana. Keep your vessels ready and just repeat after me, and then you can start pouring when I say. Just start pouring, then you can start pouring. Now you can just repeat after me. मयंग बनते
मयंग बनते
संसारो
संसारो
कंतारो
कंतारो
सब्ब दुःखतो
सब्ब दुःखतो
मोचनत्ताय
मोचनत्ताय
निब्बानं
निब्बानं
सच्चिकरणत्ताय
सच्चिकरणत्ताय
कम्मञ्च
कम्मञ्च
कम्म विपाकञ्च
कम्म विपाकञ्च
सद्दहित्वा
सद्दहित्वा
तिसरणेन सद्दिं
तिसरणेन सद्दिं
पंचशीलानि
पञ्चशीलानि
समदयित्वा
समदयित्वा
मम परलोकगता
मम परलोकगता
ज्ञातिनो
ज्ञातिनो
पितुनो।
पितुनो
Remember your father's name. समूहस्य च
समूहच्च
मम कल्याणमित्तञ्च
मम कल्याणमित्तञ्च
इमानि
इमानि
संगदानानि
संगदानानि
अट्टपरिकरं दानानि।
अट्टपरिकरं दानानि।
Just one incident that happened during the time of Buddha we will see, and then we will see what is the Dhamma that we can extract from this incident and how we can apply that, uh, that righteousness in our life also. Dhamma means like righteousness. What is right, what is wrong. That discretion, that is one of the meanings of Dhamma. That is actually the most generally understood meaning about Dhamma. It has so many other meanings. Dhamma means like the nature of different objects, different people, different animals. They have their own nature. That is also called Dhamma. Dharati iti Dhamma. And one more meaning is like the teachings of Buddha. It's also called Dhamma. Of course, Buddha has taught the righteousness. In that way, Dhamma or Dharma means the righteousness. What is right, what is true, what is permanent good, what is, like say, what leads to the permanent happiness. All those things, again, it is considered as Dhamma. And of course, in different belief systems, they have their own Dhamma, Dharma. But here, in all the Buddha's teachings, which talk about this righteousness, that is also called as Dhamma. So we will extract this Dhamma, the righteous points that we can apply in our life, that we can make use of those points in the life, and then we can progress in this righteousness. So that is what is the idea of all these Dhamma talks. So now this is about two great people, like great young people who are from some good families in present day Bihar, near Nalanda. Nalanda is the place, many of you might have heard of that place. It is somewhere near Patna and Bodh Gaya, where in between these two, Patna and Bodh Gaya, this Nalanda, and there is one more place, Rajgir. Nalanda and Rajgir, they're almost close by. They're just some 10 kilometers. And they are in between this Bodh Gaya and Patna. It's in Bihar. And Nalanda, of course, many of you know because of the university, Nalanda University, one of the ancient universities in the world, which used to, like say, produce so many great masters, great people, great scholars, great monks. So that was the place. But again, now it is rejuvenated, and now a lot of work is going on again to make it one of the great universities. That you might have heard of it, Nalanda. Of course, it was destroyed several times, but again, now it's again rebuilt, and it is again becoming a seat of learning, a great seat of learning. So near that Nalanda, there were two friends. One of them is Upatissa, the other one is Kolita. They were also very great, very wise people, very wise young people, and very good friends. And always they used to learn together, eat together, roam around together, all aspects, learning or entertainment or roaming around. They were so thick friends, like always they used to be together, and their intellectuality, their appearance, their age, everything almost same. Their background also, like they are from good families in the adjacent villages, the neighboring villages. Their parents were the leaders of those villages. And when they become, like say, the beginning of their youth, some 18, 19 years, then they went to one fair, one entertainment place, fair. There they saw entertainment, and they get fed up with that. What is this entertainment? Always some nuisance it is. All this little bit of excitement, then automatically we lose interest in this. It is equally disappointing also. All this entertainment, all these worldly essential things, They don't have much stuff. There is no much essence in people. Simply they are going behind all these essential things, entertainment things, ego inflating things, power, position, all these things doesn't make any sense. They don't have true stuff, true essence of happiness. They always lack something. It always leads to some disappointment also, some depression also, some distress also, all these excitements. They don't carry any sense. In that way, they realize both of them actually. And one of them, like this Upatissa, he was feeling gloomy, and this his friend, this Kolita, he asked, "Why are you looking gloomy? Why you look little disappointed and gloomy?" Then that Upatissa, he answers, "I am just fed up with all this worldly, the sensual things and the so-called entertainment, so-called this people struggling for these essential things and this power, position, entertainment. I'm a little bit upset and I'm fed up with this. That's why I'm I'm looking a little dull. Though it is not like dullness, it is like more equanimous dullness. It is like some kind of disinterest in the worldly things. That's what I'm experiencing. Then why you are also looking little dull and gloomy? That way, this Upatissa asked this Kolita, his friend, and he also answered, I'm also the same feeling. I'm also fed up with this, all this entertainment and all these worldly essential things and all uh, this struggling for power, position, ego inflation, and thereby trying to derive some happiness. All this is I'm also fed up. And because of that disinterest, I'm looking gloomy, dull. Oh, then we have the same ideas, same thoughts, same feelings, same realization about these worldly pleasures. Then we have to find out some superior happiness. Then what shall we do? Just uh, leave our homes and we start looking for some teacher and let us. If we find out some teacher where we can learn something superior happiness, superior freedom, superior wisdom, then we should come back and then we should share that knowledge or about the teacher. Then we should go and we should learn from the teacher. So with that agreement, they dispersed. And of course, they were not successful, and again they met sometime. Then they started learning from one teacher by name Sanjaya. His name was Sanjaya, with one of the teachers. That time he was very renowned teacher, and they used to learn from him. And again they were not happy with that. And again they went in two different directions, and they were looking for some teacher. They may come across with some teacher, and they may start learning some superior knowledge. This Upatissa, when he was going around one village, there he saw one monk with wonderful appearance. He was looking so dignified, so majestic. His very appearance was very appealing. His demeanor, his walking, it was so majestic, so appealing. And he thought he has some superior knowledge with his very appearance, with his very walking, with his very demeanor. I can see that he has some superior knowledge which is beyond all these worldly teachers or all the teachers whom we have met. Then he went to this monk and he requested, so what's your name, sir, venerable sir, and who is your master and what is your teaching? I want to learn from you. And with all humbleness, he requested the monk. Then that monk, I'm very new to one path, which is disclosed by my master, Venerable Gautama, that is Buddha. I'm very new. Better you go and talk to my master or my seniors, so they may teach you about the teachings of Venerable Gautama. Then he requested again, you just tell me little bit, whatever you know, I can comprehend. He was so confident. this Upatissa, and that he's true to his confidence. He was not arrogant, because he will come to know later. He was such a powerful genius and a very wise person who has accrued a lot of merits from so many previous lives to become such a wise man. Just tell me, even a little bit, whatever you know, I could comprehend. So in that way, he requested this monk. Monk's name is Assaji. Then this Assaji, Venerable Assaji, he just gave one small verse. So he started that verse with, like say, something like this. Ye Dhamma Hetu Pabhava. That means all these worldly things, or whatever we see, the animals, the material things, our mind, our body, all this existence, cosmology, everything, that is one of the meanings of Dhamma. The nature, the existence, that is again the meaning of Dhamma. So Ye Dhamma, all these things, worldly or spiritual or mental or the cosmological things, everything is Hetu Pabhava. Hetu means like cause. All these things have arisen with some cause. Nothing has arisen in this world. Nothing is seen in this world without a cause. For everything to be seen, everything to be, like say, to be present in this world, there is a cause. Without cause, nothing arises. If the causes are, like say, stopped, then nothing will arise. If there is a cause, then only something will arise. All is, like say, everything is cyclical. With causes, the things will arise. When the causes will disappear, the things will perish. So that's what he just started explaining. Just in one or two verses, just in two lines, he could comprehend what he meant, this Venerable Assaji. That was a wonderful knowledge. And even, of course, that is a wonderful knowledge, because that is the reason why I have to take up this topic today for today's discussion. So we will see the meaning of this, the superiority, the great knowledge hiding in this one or two lines, or this very first line. What is the meaning of this, and how it is relevant even today, and how it will increase our understanding and wisdom, that we will see a little later. Now we will see this story, what happened in this story. So after listening to this, after comprehending, he became completely, like say, shocked with this knowledge, and he was with great joy, with great say excitement, he just thought of sharing this knowledge with his friend Kolita. Then they met, both of them, they met in one place, this Kolita and this Sariputta. And then he said, I met one great teacher, and he told me this. What is that? The same thing, Edamma Hetu Prabhava. And this Kolita also immediately could grasp the meaning of that. Everything arises with some cause only. Without cause, nothing will arise in this existence, in this universe. So he could also comprehend that. And they could become sotapannas, means they could comprehend this and they could see the glimpse of Nibbana just with this one or two lines. And then they came to this their teacher, the previous teacher, his name that I was telling you, Sanjaya. And he always used to teach like some kind of atheistic philosophies. He used to teach about there's nothing like morality, there's no cause and effect, and all those things he used to teach. So then they came to this teacher, but at that time he was such a prolific, such a voracious person. He became very popular with his views. So they came back to their teacher, Sanjaya, and they told, so now there is a great monk, great teacher, Venerable Gautama, the Buddha, has arrived in this world. Now we will go and take refuge. Now we will just surrender ourselves and learn from him. In that way, they requested this Sanjaya. Sanjaya also, he felt, okay, the great teacher, the Buddha has arrived, it's fine. But I will not come. Why I don't come? Because now I am the master. I'm teaching so many people, the multitudes. How can I become a student now? That is one reason he explains to his students, this Upatissa and Kolita. And the second thing he says, and again it's a very silly way of, like, say, defending himself. The first one is also, of course, there is no point in it. One should be, that we will see. Again, this one more point that we have to discuss. So the first point he says, I'm a teacher, I can't become a student. That's why I don't come. That is his first point. That first defense. Second defense for his argument that he is not interested in coming is, there are so many foolish people. I want to remain as a teacher of the foolish people, stupid people. And he again asks this, who are more in this world, whether foolish people are more or intelligent people are, wise people are more? Then these two disciples, Upatissa and Kolita, they answer, it is, of course, it is the foolish people who are more in this world. Then don't you think I should take care of such foolish people? So I will not come, because only few people like you can go to Venerable Gautama, and majority of the people, most of the people who can't comprehend Gautama's teachings, they have to be with me, and I have to take care of this multitude, majority of the people. So that is the second reason that he gives why he is not interested in coming to meet Buddha and take discipleship under Buddha. So after listening this, they can't help this Upatissa and Kolita, but still many people, they knew that this Upatissa and Kolita, they have superior knowledge and wisdom, they will lead us to right master. So nearly some 250 disciples of this Sanjaya, they left Sanjaya, and they joined this Upatissa and Kolita, and all of them, they went to Gautama Buddha the Gautama, and they took refuge in Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, and they started learning from Buddha. That very day, all of them, these 250 people, they became Sotapannas, and they became Arahants. All the 250 people who accompanied this Kolita and Upatissa, they became the Arahants the very day, that very first day, when they took refuge in Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, when they became monks under Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. But for this Upatissa and Kolita, and they were later became very famous as Sariputta and Mogalana. Sari was the name of this Upatissa. Sariputta means the son of Sari. That way he became famous, this Upatissa. And Kolita became famous as Mogalana. Again, Mogali's son, Mogalana. So in that way, this Sariputta and Mogalana, earlier they were called as Upatissa and Kolita. They took some time, though they were so wise, they could not become enlightened Arahants. In the very first meeting with Buddha, it took nearly 1 week for this Sariputta to become enlightened, completely enlightened, become Arahant, and 15 days for this Mogalana to become completely enlightened. Yeah, something like that. It took some time for them. That's what I want to say. For Mogalana and Sariputta. Why? That also we will see. These 3 points we will see. First one is like Edamma Hetupabhava. What as I told you, as I was telling, everything arises with some cause. Without cause, nothing arises. So during those days, there were two extreme views. Everything is there because of the Creator God. That was one view. And of course, even today, that is very much there. And the other view is like everything it exists. There is no meaning in this. All of us, if we do good or bad, we have to die. So there is no meaning for good, there is no meaning for bad, there is no meaning for morality. In that way, that atheistic view was also there. No need of bothered about this morality and immorality, good and bad. And there is one more extreme view of everything is created by the Creator God. One should simply surrender to Creator God, and different teachers, they have their own versions of Creator God again. The atheism also, there were so many masters again. They used to speak about atheistic views. And these two young, brilliant students, Upatissa and Kolita, who later became Sariputta and Mogalana, they could comprehend the two extreme views where they were struck, and they could comprehend this right view of Buddha, that everything is cause and effect. If you create right causes, you will get the right results. That if you sow, as I used to say, if you sow the mango seed, you will get the mango fruits, mango tree and mango fruits. And if you sow the neem seed, you will get the neem fruit and neem tree and the neem fruits. As simple as that. If you do good things, good begets good, bad begets bad. Right causes lead to right results, wrong causes lead to wrong results. So in that way, everything is existing in this world. Your happiness, your suffering, your prosperity, your poverty, your appearance, good appearance, bad appearance, your influence, your wretchedness, your popularity, your defame, everything, your health, your sickliness, your long life, your short life. In the same way, it can be extended to the whole universe also. Not only for the beings, for their happiness, for their suffering, everything is dependent on the causes. If you can create the right causes, you will end up in the right results. If you create the wrong causes, you end up in the wrong results. That very comprehension could lead them to the Nibbana, the first glimpse of Nibbana, that is Swatapana. It's called stream entry. That means entering into the stream of Nibbana. That the first glimpse of Nibbana one can see just by comprehending this law of cause and effect. Not simply stuck in these essential things or these power-hungry, egoistic, ego-inflating things, forgetting about the results of that, forgetting about what is good, what is bad, how the good is good, how the bad is bad, and thereby not performing the good, and thereby indulging in the bad. So these things, if you are into, then you will have complete discretion, like animals, or the people with wrong views. So because of this very understanding of this cause and effect, good begets good, bad begets bad. So that's why one should understand good and cultivate good. One should understand bad and keep away the bad. That clarity, it as a flash, it opened up the minds of these people, these two young people, Upatissa and Kolita. Later, famously, they are called as Sariputta and Mogalana. They became two chief disciples of Buddha, the right disciple, left disciple. The two, they used to sit next to Buddha, left and right. Of course, they become like very chief disciples and very humble disciples. Of course, they used to learn much from Buddha, and they used to teach also. And they could liberate many other people also. So in that way, they became two chief disciples of Buddha, just by comprehending this. And after some time, they became arhants also. It took some time for them, some 1 week or 15 days. But for the other 250 people who came along with them, that very day they became arhants. Why? Because these people are like very intelligent, very critically analytical also. These two sariputta, though they are very humble, very wise, and little bit intellectual also. That's why it took some time for them to correctly, thoroughly comprehend and correctly, critically analyze each and every word of Buddha. Though they became Satapannas, the very first statement, Edamma Hetupabhava. But to become Arhants, completely enlightened, it took a few days for them because they could thoroughly comprehend. Patisambhida Jnana Arhant means like thoroughly each and every word of Buddha they could thoroughly comprehend, and they became supremely enlightened. Arhants, completely enlightened Arhants they became. So the point here is that how we can apply to this present world also. So the point that I want to highlight is, don't get carried away with the wrong views. That is point number one. The theistic wrong views, everything created by God, and completely surrendering to some supernormal force, ignoring your own understanding, developing your own understanding of good and bad, performing good, like the meritorious actions, like the meditations. Meditations and meritorious actions, these are the only good. Please understand. There's no other shortcut. For you to develop your mind, for you to progress in this path, you have to understand the importance of this right view meditations and right view meritorious actions. Right view, I mean, again and again, why I'm insisting on this. Like it is mind-centered, it is not, it is with an idea of purifying my mind, calming down my mind. With that idea, if you are performing meritorious actions, that is a right view meritorious action. If you are practicing meditation with an interest, with an idea of, again, purifying my mind, not getting trapped into the theistic views or atheistic views, ignoring the mind. If you ignore the mind purity, mind calmness, mind peace, then you are in wrong view. Then you are not practicing these meritorious actions and meditations in a right way. That is the point that I want to highlight. So this is the small statement, Edamma Hetupabhava, which will help you to understand this entire knowledge of right view. What is that? Cause and effect. Everything arises with some cause. I have to create the right causes in my mind. Good for me, good for others. Keeping away my greed, my hatred, and my delusion. Then only I can be free from greed, hatred, and delusion authoritatively. Then only I realize that true happiness, true peace, true liberation. That is the way to help others also around me. So that comprehension, if you get, then you're establishing in right view. That means you understand this law of cause and effect, Kamma Niyama. Then you have understood this good begets good, bad begets bad. Then you will understand what is good, how it helps me to derive the true happiness, permanent happiness, how it will help me to keep away the wrong happiness, the exciting happiness, the temporary, or the happiness that leads to disappointment, how I can keep away from that. That clarity you will start getting more and more authoritatively. That is what is the right view approach. That is what is this mind-centered approach. That is what is avoiding these extreme views of God-centeredness or Atheistic, only body-centered, only for the body and senses, sensual things. That is what is the world. That is what is happiness. That kind of understandings also you can keep away. So in that way, you should understand this cause and effect theory. Everything is dependent on cause. That's why in Buddhist approach, it is the karma that is highly respected. Good karma, bad karma. That discretion is highly appreciated, highly respected. Just like the monotheistic or theistic people completely surrender to some concept. They have their own concepts of God, creator God, something like that. Here in this approach, our complete surrendering is to this principle of law of cause and effect, principle of this karma niyama, principle of this good begets good, bad begets bad. And all our understanding, all our wisdom, all our intelligence, all our efforts, all our practices should be around this, making the things, creating the good things, creating the good causes that will purify the mind, that will give us the true happiness, true peace of mind, true liberation. And also it will help us to keep away the wrong things, the exciting, the wrong happinesses. So that is the essence of this understanding of these two wise disciples, Upatissa and Kolita. After comprehending this very small statement, Edamma Hetupabhava, everything, all these worldly things, all these things that appear in the world, in the form of mind or in the form of matter, everything is like, say, it arises from some cause. Without cause, nothing arises. That cause and effect, if you understand, then you have understood the right view. Then you have understood how to keep away from the wrong views. So that is the Dhamma we can extract from this small incident that happened during the time of Buddha. This about these two disciples, and yeah, I told you about this. Why it took some time for this Mogalana and Sariputta, because they thoroughly they could analyze, and they could become arahants. And this Sanjaya, this teacher, how he was stuck in the wrong views. His points, like say, majority of the people are fools in this world. I want to teach these fools. What he's teaching again some foolish things and making them more fools, more foolish. So in that way, if you teach some unnecessary things, wrong things, then you are making yourself more and more foolish, and you are making others also more and more foolish, and you get trapped into that cycle of foolishness. That's all. You will get trapped into more and more suffering also. That way, this world is full of foolish teachings. And that's how this majoritarianism, like say, people always thinking about majoritarianism, more number, more number, more number. The world is completely carried away with this wrong idea of more number, more people. If they agree, they approve, then everything is fine, everything is truth. But in reality, it is the opposite. That's what is one of the Dhamma that we can extract from this. This small incident that happened during the time of Buddha. So that way, don't get trapped by this number business. Oh, this organization, this master, this teacher, he has so many people. Then it should be the truth. That is one more trap, one more wrong view, one more wrong understanding. Just like in the case of this Sanjaya. It is not the number that matters. It is correct understanding of where is happiness, true happiness, like these Four Noble Truths. The more I get detached from the cravings, there is higher happiness, there is freedom. And the truths like this, Edamma Hetupabhava, everything arises because of one's own causes he has created in his mind. So if this kind of superior teachings you can able to comprehend, then you escape from ignorance, then you escape from suffering. Simply based on this number business, there so many people go, and I will also go. Here so many people will go. That's why I should also go. If this kind of concepts are there, then you get trapped into more and more ignorance only, more and more suffering only. That is one more Dhamma point that we can extract from this story. And one more point is like, say, I'm a teacher. I know many things. I'm quite aged person. I have seen the world. Now such a elderly person, aged person. Now I am such a intelligent person, knowing a lot of information about this, about that, about scriptures, about so many religions, so many philosophies, or so much about the world, so much knowledge about the worldly things. I'm great. I'm superior. I'm elderly. So then I should not become disciple to someone. If that kind of adamancy is there, again you are into the wrong view, and you get trapped in the ignorance of unnecessary knowing, unnecessary knowledge. And based on that unnecessary knowledge, you develop some unnecessary ego also, of not to let go of those things and to yield to the right things, right knowledge. That's what happened in the case of this Sanjaya. I am teacher to so many people. So many people will listen to my knowledge. Though deep inside he knew that everything is rubbish, it's bullshit, what I know. But he's not in a position to accept with in front of other people, and he was not interested to give up that kind of conflict in his heart and mind, and he was not in a position to surrender to the true wisdom. So because of that kind of not giving up his knowledge ego, knowing ego, so seniority, superiority ego, in knowing some information, and showing that he's inability in front of other people, because again he will lose. He thought that he will lose his power, his materialistic requirements. That is not true. When you become more and more open, truthful, then you will get actually everything. So in that way, again, people stick on to their small petty egos about their whatever materialistic knowledge they know, or some spiritual knowledge they know, or some concocted knowledge that they have. For such knowledge, just if they stick on to it egoistically, then again they will be trapped into ignorance and suffering. One should learn how to give up. That is actually one strong bondage, strong craving, strong attachment. Attachment to whatever I know. I know is the biggest thing. I don't know is the way to liberate, is the way to derive true wisdom and true happiness and true freedom. So because of that reason, again, this Sanjaya, he was struck. He could not derive this liberating knowledge. He could not learn this liberating knowledge. So in that way, we can again extract this Dhamma of like say how the mind gets stuck in some kind of egoistic things, and how it will not in a position to let go and learn the right view and the right knowledge, and thereby it will not is not in a position to derive the true wisdom and true freedom and true happiness. So these things one has to comprehend from this short Dhamma talk. Okay, I think with this we'll conclude today's Dhamma program. So in today's Dhamma talk, the 3 points that you should remember and comprehend is: one is E Dhamma Hetupabhava, everything arises with some cause only. Without cause, nothing arises. That's why I have to create the right causes to get the right happiness, the right results. I have to keep away the wrong causes. All these meritorious actions, they are the right causes. Generosity, morality, apachayana, vayavacha, respecting the respectables, service, serving the people who are fully worthy of service. That means like mind liberation, mind centered and mind liberating knowledge there for working on that. And Dhamma Savana, Dhamma Desana, Punyanumodana, all these things are meritorious actions which will create the right causes to purify our mind, thereby to derive the true happiness. And bhavana, meditations, the right view meditations, again they purify the mind and liberate the mind. So this one should authoritatively comprehend and keep away the non-meritorious things like immorality, stinginess, disrespecting the respectables, arrogance, disservice, or selfishness. All these things opposite to these meritorious actions, one should keep away. That is one key takeaway. And the second thing is like holding on to this majoritarianism, thinking majoritarianism is right. That one should give up that idea. And when you are into critical analysis, though your absolute enlightenment, if it gets postponed, never mind. Thoroughly understand what is right, what is wrong. Don't get trapped in the name of liberation, in the name of enlightenment, in the name of spirituality. Don't get trapped. Correctly analyze, correctly slow and steady in spiritual growth. That attitude also one should have. So this is one more key takeaway. So these 3 points you just remember in today's Dhamma talk, that will definitely help you in absorbing this right view and progressing in this right view mind culture. Okay. So with this, we will conclude. If you have some quick questions, you can ask, and then we'll conclude with some small chanting.
Namaste, Guruji.
Yes. Sorry.
I wanted to ask, like, how to understand, like, cause and effect, like like if there's any effect, what was the previous cause for it? Like, what is the first cause in cyclical? Like, what is causing it the first time, Guruji?
There's nothing like first and second. In the cycle, there is nothing like first and second. Can you say what is the beginning in the cycle? There is one cycle, let us say. Where is the beginning in the cycle? There's nothing like first and second. Today, now, you are listening to Dhamma, for example, let us say. Now your mind is purified, for example. Then you derive true happiness. Okay? But because of some bad influence tomorrow, if you get some bad influence, some bad friend or something like that, for example, then you, because of that bad cause, you derive, say you attract some bad actions or you start indulging in some bad actions, then you get suffering. So in that way, your mind at that time, it is not in a position to create the right cause of keeping away the bad friends or bad influence. You get influenced, overpowered by his powerful bad intentions, for example. You get carried away by that. So you are not in a position to keep it away from you. Then you indulged in the bad action. Then you ended up in suffering. So in that way, your ability, your power to thoroughly comprehend what is good, what is bad, and keeping away the bad and practicing the good, that's what will give you the right results. Keeping away the bad, if you are very successful, then you will keep away from the bad results. If you are indulging in the right actions with more confidence, with more energy, not getting carried away by some negative influences, thoroughly practicing the right actions, then you will get the right results. So finally, everything boils down to one's own understanding and wisdom. If you don't keep on learning and developing this wisdom and understanding, then there are so many negative forces or the foolish or the stupid influences in the world. Because as I told you, there are so many wrong views. Oh, just do this, do that. Just indulge in essential things, you will get happiness. In that way, many people, majority of the people, they will talk in that kind of tone. If you get if you are yielded to that kind of influence, where your intelligence is shrouded with that kind of wrong influence, then your ability to say keep away that kind of influence and digging into the right knowledge or good actions, meritorious actions, that will go away. Then you get trapped into that negative cycle, vicious cycle of wrong knowledge, wrong actions, wrong results. So if you have some intelligence, some wisdom, where you can protect yourself and plunge into the right action, then right knowledge, right action, right results, you will fall into that cycle. So finally, it is your wisdom, your discretion that matters. Again, that may change moment to moment. Unless you become like you should see the glimpse of Nibbana. Until then, the mind will start playing. It will playing in the sense it is not so strong to keep away the wrong and to stick on to the right. So until then, you should have the right circumstances, right environment, right guidance, right community, which will make you to stick on to the understanding of what is right, what is wrong. So in that way, like say, whether hen is first or the egg is first, there is no logic in that very question itself. The same way, the good begets good, bad begets bad. So that understanding, that is the existence that we should accept. And where I am in this cycle, that we should know. And from there, we should start working. Now, this is my weaknesses. These are my strengths. How can I develop these strengths? What are the right conditions I can create? The conditions of right people around me, the right masters around me, the right community around me. How I can build, how I can create. That's where one should focus. That is what is the responsibility, duty of each and every person. There's nothing beyond that, even for Buddhas. Then if you keep on progressing in this, then the different channels of the mind, the different realities of this existence, they start opening up. But practically, this is where one should start.
Thank you.
How this world is created, who created this world, where is the beginning of this world, whether this world is finite or infinite, whether what will happen after the enlightenment, whether the mind will be there or it will not be there. All these questions, after that only we will come to know the answers for that. A few things, the answers will get when we progress in the path and when we realize it practically with observation. So such questions, where is the beginning of this universe? Who created? Somebody created this, or automatically it appeared? All these questions, they are not useful for my happiness. In no way they will help me to grow more and more in this happiness, in purifying my mind or deriving more happiness. Such kind of questions, Buddha discourages. Once one disciple came to Buddha, and he was very proudly, very arrogantly, so I want to know who created this world, whether this world is finite or infinite. What will happen to the arhants, whether their minds will be there or not, will not be there. If you don't answer this, I will just leave your company. I will just give up my training, my discipleship under you. Then Buddha says, foolish fellow, I have not told you that you be my disciple. I never asked you to become my disciple. And also I have not assured you that. So I will answer to these questions, then you can continue becoming my disciple. My teaching is very simple. So suffering is because of this, one should avoid this. Happiness is because of this, one should cultivate this. If you are into this teaching and start practicing these things, then you will start realizing so many other aspects of this. Unnecessary things, the so-called unnecessary questions that you are asking, you'll start getting the answers. And he gives one simile analogy also. If a person is stuck with one poisonous arrow, an arrow smeared with some poison, if it strikes him, and if it is stuck in his body, then the first thing that he should do is to remove the arrow and remove the poison, and then go to a doctor and get the things healed, or get the things like to remove that poison from the body. And if he keeps on worrying about who struck this arrow, from what distance he has struck, which metal, whether it is a metal arrow or wooden arrow, whether that person is a male or female, that way, if he starts worrying about that, all these unnecessary things, then he will die. The same way, in questions also, there are some beneficial or useful questions or useless questions. So the useful questions are the questions that will lead to the answers where I become more free, more happy, more liberated, more successful, more peaceful, more healthy. So that kind of questions, if some of the actions or some of the teachings can answer to that kind of questions, then I should go ahead and I should practice that. And in that process, when I become more and more wise, all these unnecessary things also one can understand, one can realize. But that is unnecessary, because in no way it helps me. Just like in this analogy, this simile of this poisonous arrows. The first and foremost thing that he has to do is to remove that poison, otherwise he will die. We are in that situation in the world. We are stuck in this lot of different kinds of suffering and attachments and cravings. That's why we are suffering again and again. We are into this trap, in this cycle of this suffering and ignorance. Wrong actions, wrong causes, creating wrong causes, getting wrong results and dying. Again creating wrong causes, suffering and dying. Again creating wrong causes, suffering and dying. Understanding the right causes, performing them, that is my immediate duty. So in that way, Buddha encourages this disciple. That way, even the questions also, we should see the beneficiality of the question, the usefulness of the question, and the probable answer from that. Beneficiality means like my happiness, my freedom, my wisdom, my liberation, my understanding of what is happiness, what is not happiness. That is what is the wisdom. Not about 1 million things about this world, and that's maybe for your livelihood. If you are learning many things in this world, it's fine. But for your wisdom, for your true knowledge, liberating knowledge, this is the true wisdom. This is the true knowledge. What is that? Understanding what is happiness, what the cause of happiness, how to establish in that, what is suffering, the cause of suffering, how to avoid it. In these things, if one becomes more and more skillful, like understanding all these associated things like meritorious actions, meditations, and with regard to wrong things, this immoral things, sensual things, wrong views, the extreme wrong views, understanding and keeping away. If in these things a person keeps on growing, then all other unnecessary things also, you will realize it's its uselessness also. And if you understand the truth behind those things also, it is okay. If you don't understand, many arahants, they understood only about their mind only. Some arahants, they could understand about the world also, universe also. But it doesn't matter. Arhants are arhants. Both of them, they could become completely emancipated from all kinds of suffering. That's what should be the right goal. That's what should be the right knowledge. That's what should be one's right path. So in that way, one should be bothered about the beneficiality of our inquisitiveness. That is the point.
Thank you, Guruji.
Okay, any other thing? Okay, we'll conclude. भवतु सर्वमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता सर्वबुद्धानुभावेन सर्वधम्मानुभावेन सर्वसङ्गानुभावेन सदा स्वस्ति भवन्तु ते सुखी भवेयं निर्दुःखो अहं नित्याहं विया पिता च मे सुखी होन्तु मा जत्ता च तवेरिनो इमां हि गम्मन्ते धम्मे सत्त होन्तु सुखी सदा ततो परञ्चारज्येषु चक्रवालेषु जन्तुनो साधु 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 सुखी होन्तु मंगल हो. May all of you be happy, healthy and peaceful. May all beings also be happy, healthy and peaceful. सुखी होन्तु मंगल हो.